Hi everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Still a little bit, it's about 9:30, 10 o'clock here. Still a little bit chilly this morning, to me anyway. I'm kind of cold natured. A little bit gray day. Doesn't look too bad like it's going to rain, but it just might be a nice overcast day, which I would not mind at all. I got a bunch of stuff to do today. Had a good productive day to start the week off, and I forget though, I'm getting out of real time again on these videos. I get a little bit more motivated when I move up to the cabin, and I'm just being a lot more productive up here. Maybe I got to move to the cabin permanently and just use the kitchen downstairs. Anyhow, just thought I was realizing yesterday, wow, this is what, today is September 20th, so that means we've got about 10 days left in this month, and then we're in the last quarter of the year. And then that's when all the cliche stuff starts. And I thought I would talk about it just a little bit now. And I will not be talking about any of that holiday tips, to how to get through the holidays, because that's all cliche. It happens every year, and it's not even just in this lifestyle. And the cliche has just drilled a hole in my brain for years and years and years. Even back when I lived a pretty abysmal lifestyle, I looked at people and I'm like, why do they try to fool themselves in their heads? Why do they do the same things year after year after year after year? They start all strong on New Year's Day with their resolutions, and we'll hear that this year. You know we will, just like we did last year. But ask yourself, did you stick to them? What did you accomplish? Or did you just go through those ritual motions again? You know, everybody, well, that's what you're supposed to do. You make a New Year's resolution. That's what you're supposed to do. You ditch your New Year's resolution about 2 weeks in. That's what people do. When you get to the holidays, everybody talks about how they're going to not do the same as they normally do. What do? They just fall into this pattern of doing whatever, and I think the mentality is like, okay, well now I've gone so far, I might as well just wait until that holy New Year's resolution comes around. Well, I'm just like, I want to plant a little seed with you today. Successful people in any endeavor in life do not follow the sheep. They do not follow the crowd. I've mentioned before to you guys that I wrote sports betting a few years back, and one of the thing in there it's always called betting against the squares, and that's a very important statistic in sports betting that professional bettors like to know is where the money is. In other words, if there's a game, you don't even probably know sports betting, but if there's a game and this team's the favorite, this team's the underdog by a certain amount of points, you can see how many people are betting on each side. In other words, how many people are taking New England -3 and how many are taking Miami +3. General wisdom is, and that's why they call them the squares. It's kind of a lovingly derogatory term, because the average person is just following the sheep. They're not going to win. They're always just going to, get the same results that everybody else is going. The winners out there go against the flow. They go against what everybody's doing, and they differentiate themselves. So I would say over the last 3 months of the year, if you want to be different, if you really want to be impressive, if you don't want to just flap your gums and talk about what you're going to do, and be marching along with the rest of the people talking about holiday eating, blah blah blah, New Year's resolution, blah blah blah, get fit, get in shape. Well, you're fooling yourself, and just like most people are fooling themselves. And hey, that may sound harsh, but numbers. Always go back to numbers. Look at the amount of people that actually succeed with that mentality of thinking. How many people do you know in your personal life that at the first of the year resolve to lose weight? How many people do you know in your personal life that have actually lost a substantial amount of weight and been successful keeping it off, or reversing any health problems, or doing whatever they want in their life? What I'm getting at is people have patterns, and we tend to follow these patterns, probably more so out of comfort than anything else. And it takes a little bit to break out of those, because it's conditioning. We are basically products. If you were to go through a day, do this sometimes, it's a little bit tedious, but go through a day and just question yourself all day long about, why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? Why do I do this all the time? Why do I do that? And probably a good majority, probably 60, 70% of the things we do every day in life, we have no idea why we do them. We've just been conditioned to do that. Our parents did them, our grandparents did them, generations before did that. And it comes down to health, it comes down to nutrition, it comes down to whatever. And it comes down to just our everyday patterns in life. It's almost kind of a little cliche. Everybody just kind of, hee hee, yeah, right. Like nobody, I think a lot of people don't even, like they know they're not going to really do the whole resolution thing, but it's kind of just, it's kind of like getting a fortune cookie. You get the fortune cookie and you read it just for the novelty of it. But most people are just like, well, that's just what you're supposed to do. That's part of the holiday ritual. But I'm saying this year, why not be different? I thought about putting something formal together, but it's kind of late to do that with October in just about 10 days. And I got to go away for a few days, like 3 days to get my passport straightened out, go to Nicaragua. So I just thought like, I deal with the psychological aspect of this stuff. Mine's more like motivation and talking through. So I just thought like for the last 3 months of the year, I'd kind of try to, if there were people and they're serious and they're not going to BS and and they're not going to dance around, but if somebody wants to really go against the grain and do the opposite for the next 3 months of what most people are going to do, instead of like trying to be, okay, well, how can I tiptoe along? Bust up into your holiday gathering, bust up into that Thanksgiving feast, bust up into that Christmas feast. You know, don't walk with your head hanging down. Some of you people get what you get because you walk around so meek and you're a victim when you go into these places. Walk into any room with any dish, with anything you want to eat, and don't bat an eye about it. Don't let anybody intimidate you. If somebody starts laughing at you, you know, whatever. But you know, just do your thing. Be an individual for these next 3 months. And yeah, that's something that I might, like I say, I'm not going to do any of the holiday tips and why not do this and why not do that, because like I say, the cliche gets in my brain like a bug in my brain and just eats away at it. But if there's some serious people out there and you want a little bit of consulting or whatever, my email address is below, and I'm going to, I've said a while back, and I'm going to start doing that. I've had a couple of people that have reached out to me, and I've helped a little bit. But yeah, if you want to get in touch with me about some private consulting for the last 3 months of the year, if you just want to chat from time to time and get yourself on the path and do something different, you know, shoot me an email below. Because like I say, either at some point in life, I know sometimes I can sound a little harsh, I can sound a little cynical, but life is life. There's reality out there. There's realities, you know, we can keep chanting this love and light, love and light. Look at our navels, get back on the horse. If you fall, we can put all these platitudes we want to out there, but you know, you see the people that are doing that and they're just kind of drones and they go through the motions. It's kind of a religion thing, like repeating you know, a litany or something over and over, love and light and get back on the horse and shine your light and the raw is law and blah, blah, blah. And then there's people that are just going to do it, that really want to do it, and they will focus, they will make a plan, and they'll put the work in. That's what it's about, is, and 99% of the things in life that people are not successful at, they haven't put the work in. You know, this is a lifestyle. We talk about the plan all the time and everybody chirps up, yeah, the plan, that's a good idea, but nobody's actually doing it. This lifestyle, you're not going to just keep doing things over and over and over, and one day it just clicks and boom, your body just has taken over things and you're eating this and that. You got to work your way through those stages, and you got to work your way to a place where you're able to do this lifestyle flawlessly. But you can get there, but if you will just simply stop repeating the patterns and stop telling yourself these little bullshit lies and justifications every time. Hey, you don't want to beat yourself up when you fall off, but there's too many people that fall off the wagon about 6 times a week, pat themselves on the head every time, and don't buckle down and try to figure out what they're doing wrong. So anyhow, there's your 2 choices going into the last quarter of the year, and you can project yourself to January 1st and know how you're going to feel on January 1st, and you can make your choice now. Okay, I say make it now. Don't even wait till October 1st, but let's say October 1st. You make your choice and you visualize, where do you want to be on January 1st? And if you want to be better than what you are now and not go way back and have to start all over, set it in your head right now. Or when it comes to January 1st, don't say anything. Just don't say anything, because you know you could have done it and you could have prevented a lot of the damage beforehand. In other words, like, let's say you're at point A right now. You could go forward for the next 3 months and actually have made progress. Or what most people are going to do, they're not even going to hold at that point and not make any progress. They're going to go further into a hole, and then they're going to have to dig out of that hole and start the progress all over. But anyhow, just something to think about. You can follow the sheep, or you can be an individual and you can be successful and take charge of your life. Anyhow, hope you guys like this one. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. Hope you'll subscribe to the channel, and I hope you are having a wonderful week. Almost weekend time. Peace.